Hi guys, it's Caitlin and I'm here to do my first Once Upon a Time video entry. I will start out by saying spoilers ahead because I am going to try to, as best I can, recap the first half of the fifth season. I apologize in advance. The first half of the fifth season was not my favorite. I kind of cannot get into it with the whole, especially after Emma went totally full on Dark One. I cannot get into that. So I'm going to do the best I can, but needless to say, since I did not really enjoy the Dark Swan story arc, because Emma is one of my favorite characters and she's a good guy, I did not enjoy her being 100% total evil, so sorry. But it's time to get excited because Once Upon a Time is coming back at long last. March 6th at 8 p.m. is the mid-season premiere. Yay! All our favorite characters are back and ready to kick some mythical butt. So, first off, I'm a huge Once Upon a Time fan. I was so excited when the show debuted. I think like 5 years ago. As I keep saying, I'm a huge bookworm, and I love fairy tales, I love myths, and so it was really cool seeing Once Upon a Time, and it wasn't just like Disney doing, oh, well, we're going to take all their little fairy tales and we're going to stick up. It was really cool because it's not like a lighthearted show. It's funny, but it's very dark and kind of edgy and gritty, and there are moments where I'm like, oh my god, I'm going to have nightmares, so it was kind of fun. It's definitely not kid Disney. This is Disney for people my age. This is millennial Disney. This is the Disney we want to see. We want to see a Snow White that's not just this damsel in distress. We want to see a Snow White who can use a sword and destroy evil, and we want to see the princesses kicking butt, and it's awesome and cool, and I love it, and I just love it. So I've loved it since it came on. Unfortunately, like I said, the first half of this past fifth season, the Dark Swan story arc was not my favorite. I could not get into it. Because I find it kind of hard to believe that Emma, who is the savior, and she's not just the savior, she's literally a human being of nothing but pure goodness and light and love and purity, enjoying all that good stuff, could totally do a 180 and all of a sudden be nothing but darkness and rage and hatred and all that nasty stuff. So I kind of find that hard to believe, but it happened. And of course, as a writer, someone who likes stories, who loves character development and delving into them and stuff, I understand that for any character, in order to grow, they have to confront stuff, and part of that is confronting the darkness and the evil that you could be in order to grow as a hero, as a good guy, what have you. But I just did not like how quickly Emma went from being, oh, I'm all good and I'm going to save the world, to I want to kill everybody. So it was hard for me. I will say it was interesting. It was nice to see other developments. I did like them going to Camelot. I loved the King Arthur myth. I loved that. King Arthur, the idea of King Arthur has been in Once Upon a Time for a while. Lancelot has made appearances before. So it's really cool to see Lancelot appearing again. And then we also have King Arthur, and we had Guinevere, and we were in Camelot, and we finally see Merlin, and we meet him, and we learn about his history, how Merlin became Merlin, how Excalibur was created. Excalibur was originally the Grail that Merlin drank from and became immortal. And when Merlin fell in love, he wanted to cut away his immortality so that he could live a normal life with his girlfriend. So he went to he turned the Grail into Excalibur, only for his girlfriend to reveal, guess what, she drank from the Grail and she doesn't want Excalibur to exist, because if it exists, he could cut away anyone's immortality, and she doesn't want to lose her immortality. She loves the immortality more than she loves Merlin. And she breaks off the end of Excalibur, and that's how the dagger was created, which starts the curse of the Dark One. And if the dagger and Excalibur are ever rejoined and become one again, that's not good. But that was really cool seeing Merlin, and it was awesome. I loved seeing Emma and Hook's relationship grow until she went totally bonkers evil. was really nice seeing him grow and seeing that Hook, the pirate who was selfish and mean and just bent on revenge on Rumpelstiltskin, has suddenly decided that he is going to embrace this opportunity given to him. He's going to embrace Emma, he's going to embrace true love, and he's going to do everything he can for her and Henry. He's going to help her family, he's going to help Regina. He wants to be a good guy, he wants to be the hero, and he can be. Which is all well and good until Emma goes totally dark, and then he gets hurt in order to save him. She turns him into a dark one, and the very twisted but very good. I also like seeing a little bit of Robin and Regina. Regina, I never actually hated her when the show started. I always liked her because I could see why. That's the one thing with Once Upon a Time. We see how these characters became who they are. We see why Regina became the evil queen. You know, it wasn't Regina's fault. Regina was actually a good person. But when you have a mother who's so focused on looks and status and stuff like that, and magic and being the biggest, baddest, the witch there is, it's kind of hard that that's going to rub off on Regina. And Cora was a great manipulator, like Peppa Creep, so it's nice seeing Regina finally get the chance at her happy ending, which is why Emma took on the Curse of the Dark One in the first place. So it was an okay first half of the season. There were really great parts. I loved seeing Merida. I loved seeing Mulan again and Lancelot. I loved seeing Henry have his first crush on Violet. It was romantic and sweet, and I loved. But I really didn't like Emma going totally evil dark. I did not like what she did. The worst thing for me was that when Henry learned that Emma was the one who took their memories, that really hurt me because Henry saw it as such a betrayal of her, and he instantly just didn't want anything to do with her, which is kind of shocking to me. But I guess, again, it's the whole you have to confront what's right in front of you, what's inside you, in order to grow as a person for either good or bad. So, and Emma, while Emma was evil, she did have a plan. Her plan was to rejoin Excalibur and the dagger, which she did, after she managed to turn Rumpelstiltskin into a hero, which I will get to in a minute about him. Oh my gosh. And her plan was she was going to transfer all the evil, all this darkness into Zelena and use the sword to stab Zelena and therefore destroy all the darkness, break the curse, and thereby allow nothing but goodness and light to reign over all. But the plan didn't work. Instead, she ends up stabbing. Instead, Hook breaks through the spell and realizes what's happening is wrong and bad. And so he begs Emma to use the sword to stab him instead. Therefore, Hook will die, but Emma will be free of the curse. See what I mean? Hook's a great guy. Okay, sad. I cried. I did watch this episode and I bawled like a baby. Not gonna lie. But Emma ends up doing it. It's one of the worst moments ever in Once Upon a Time. I cannot believe that they were killing Hook. And then we learn Emma, Hook sacrifices himself. The curse is broken. Robin and Regina have Zelena's baby because Zelena, if you did not know, again, spoiler alert, Zelena was pregnant by Robin because she used an illusion spell to trick Robin into thinking she was Maid Marian when she had killed Maid Marian, and she got pregnant, and Robin and Regina want to raise the baby on their own because Regina can't have her own kids. So they take Zelena's baby to raise it to be good because Zelena wanted to be evil, and they banish Zelena back to Oz, but Zelena says she'll be back, so I'm sure we shall see Zelena again, especially since the actress who plays Zelena is a series regular now. So Zelena will probably be back. She'll probably be rearing her ugly green-skinned head. But it's not over. At the end of the final episode, the first half of the season, Emma learns that Rumpelstiltskin is not the hero he is thought to be anymore. Rumpelstiltskin actually found a way to tether the darkness of the Dark One to himself again and took that darkness. So while the curse on Emma and Hook is broken, they're no longer Dark Ones. Rumpelstiltskin is now once again the holder of the dagger, which means he's now once again the Dark One. Because Rumpelstiltskin is so insecure, he cannot live without magic, and he cannot live without being the Dark One. Because he thinks that's the only way he is able to survive and thrive and keep Belle with him and live a normal life. And oh my gosh, he is so wrong. But Emma learns that Rumpelstiltskin double-crossed her, so she is forcing Rumpelstiltskin to take her to the underworld to save Hook, because the deal he made was broken by him, and so he has to help her get her true love back. So that's where we're going to be at the start of the premiere on March 6th. Hook, to get back Hook, Emma, and it looks like Emma and the Charmings, and I think Rumpelstiltskin and Regina, and maybe Robin are all going to be going with Emma to the underworld, so that they can save her true love after Rumpelstiltskin double dealed them. So, yeah, Rumpelstiltskin, just let me go off on this tangent. I don't understand him. You know, one of my vlogs I talked about Hondo, how I didn't like how I used to like Hondo, and now I didn't because I don't know what he's going to do and it's confusing me. Rumpelstiltskin is that same vein. Rumpelstiltskin is like Korra. He is a manipulator. He took the curse of the Dark One, like most people do, with good intentions. He wanted to save Neil, his son, Bellfire at the time. He wanted to save him from being forced to go fight in a meaningless, pointless war and die, and save other children, which he did. He did do that. He did end the war, and he did save thousands of lives. But then he took it too far and just became obsessed with the magic and the darkness, and when Neil left, it created a hole in him that could never be filled. And he's tried, you know, he has tried multiple times throughout the series to not live as the Dark One, to simply live as he had before. But it doesn't work. He is so, Robert Carlyle or somebody said, Rumpelstiltskin is an addict. He's addicted to the power, to the magic, to what being the Dark One gives him. And he's been addicted to it so long that he cannot just quit cold turkey. He is unable to live without it. When they broke the curse of the Dark One on Rumpelstiltskin, he nearly died. So he has a healthy fear of, oh my gosh, what's going to happen to me if the curse is broken? He can't live. He can't function without it. He doesn't know how, which means every time he returns to being the Dark One, he returns to that darker innate side of him, he's putting his relationship with Henry at risk, he's putting his relationship with Bella at risk, he's putting everything at risk just so he can keep up his addiction to the magic and the darkness. And so it's, I want to like Rumpelstiltskin. I try so hard to like him. But I can't like him on the show. I love reading fan fiction, and I love reading Once Upon a Time fan fiction. It's one of the ones I read a lot. And I love the fan fictions I read where Rumpelstiltskin has broken the curse of the Dark One. He's no longer the Dark One. He's able to function as a normal person. Okay, he still has magic, but he's not evil. He's using it for good. And I like reading those fan fictions, and I wish they would put that Rumpelstiltskin on the TV show. But I know that they won't until the very end, most likely. So we're stuck with an addict Rumpelstiltskin who's just going to keep turning our heads and making us guess. I mean, do I think he's a good person? Yes, I think he's an awesome person. I think he cares. He loves Henry. Henry is his grandson. He cares amazing. I think he cares very deeply for Emma. Emma and Henry are now pretty much the only links he has to Neil, because Neil died last season. Neil sacrificed himself and died. So I think he loves Henry. He cares very deeply for Emma. I think he admires Regina and sees her as like a niece or something. And of course, he loves Belle. Belle is his true love. Belle is the person who saw the man beneath all the darkness and stuff. But again, by keeping that dagger, by staying addicted and not being willing to give up and see what he could do to see if he could survive without that crutch of the curse, he's putting everything at risk, and that risk has come back to bite him. He has lost Belle so many times. He has been forced to live on his own so many times. He's been ostracized, but he won't stop. So I don't know. I'm interested to see how it's going to play out with them going to the underworld. So hopefully Rumpelstiltskin will, by the end of the season, stop being so addicted to magic and start working on breaking the curse on himself. One can only hope. But it looks like it's going to be a pretty good episode. Of course, the mid-season premiere, it's going to be pretty much huge, because this isn't just the mid-season premiere for the 5th season of Once Upon a Time. This is the Once Upon a Time 100th episode. Yes, it's hard to believe, but Once Upon a Time has hit the magical number 100. Yay! Congratulations, Once Upon a Time. You've done what so many TV shows try to do, and most haven't succeeded. But congrats, you're at your 100th episode, and the title of this episode is called Souls of the Departed. Very interesting to note that on 2 Disney owned stations, we're going to get some very interesting episodes. This week's Rebels episode is titled Shroud of Darkness, and next week's Once Upon a Time episode is Souls of the Departed. So it's very interesting. But it's the 100th episode of Souls of the Departed, and it's going to pick up right where we left off at the end of the first half of the season, with Emma and the crew traveling to Hell, or the Underworld, to go get Hook back because Rumpelstiltskin broke their deal. And in terms of how it's going to work out, the Once Upon a Time creators have revealed that in the Once Upon a Time world, Hell in the Underworld is not what we are used to thinking of Hell in the Underworld. This is not the final destination for all those big baddies. This version of the Underworld is more like a layover. It's a stopping ground for those souls who have passed on but still have unfinished business with those who remain alive. So, this means we're going to see a ton of characters we thought were dead, gone, and buried returning. The characters that are scheduled to appear in this arc include Neil, Prince Henry, Sydney Glass, the Blind Witch, Cruella, Peter Pan, Mila, and Prince Charming's twin brother. So, it's going to be really interesting because there's going to be some intense family connections. Neil with Rumpelstiltskin, Neil with Mila, Peter Pan with Rumpelstiltskin, because, spoiler alert, turns out Rumpelstiltskin is Peter Pan's son. Cora with Regina, Charming with his brother, the Blind Witch. It's going to be really interesting. I have to note that Cruella de Vil is actually really the only bad guy in the Once Upon a Time universe that is literally, to me, a bad guy, you know. Like I said, one of my favorite things I treat as a game is to delve into characters' past and look for the clues and figure out how this character became this character and what made them either good or evil or twisted. And Cruella de Vil appeared last season in the Queens of Darkness arc alongside Ursula and Maleficent. And we learned Maleficent and Ursula actually had reasons for being so evil and hateful and vengeful. Not good reasons, but they had their reasons. And when they were finally able to face those reasons head on and confront them and move past them, they actually became decent people. Cruella, however, is the only bad guy in this series, next to, I think, Namu, and even Namu had a reason why she went so evil. Cruella is just plain psychotic, okay? She is, when we see her in the story arc about her, we learn that she just loves to kill. Even as a little girl, her favorite thing to do was kill people. She killed her father, she killed her mother's boyfriends and husbands. When the author gives her the power to control animals, she uses her mother's Dalmatians to kill her mother and then kills the dogs and makes the Dalmatian coat. She just loves to kill people. She loves to hurt people as much as she loves money. She just wants to destroy and kill and the author takes that power away. So Cruella de Vil is the only Once Upon a Time villain that I can say honestly does not have a shred of goodness in them. She is full on freaking psychotic. So that's going to be really interesting because the person who ends up killing Cruella de Vil was actually Emma. So that's going to be interesting to see the psychotic evil dog killers back. But yay, it's the 100th episode of Once Upon a Time, so get excited. And that's it for today. Yay! Yes, I take notes. So, yay! Once Upon a Time is returning March 6th at 8 o'clock. So get ready, get excited, practice your magic spells. Yay! So that's it for today. So I will be back next Monday for the first official Once Upon a Time recap. And I will be back again this week for Thursday, of course, is my Star Wars Rebels recap. I will also be posting a reaction video to Shroud of Darkness. I'm still so freaking excited about this week's episode. Yoda and Ahsoka are both back, and it looks like it's going to be a really good episode with our heroes having to confront their deepest, darkest fears to see if they can move on. Yay! I'm so excited. So, Shroud of Darkness this week, 9 o'clock p.m. on Disney XD, and I will be back Thursday with my Star Wars Rebels recap vlog. I will be back Saturday with my weekly update vlog to tell you what I've been doing, and hopefully I've gotten some good questions from you guys that I can answer. And again, watch out next Monday for my first ever Once Upon a Time recap vlog, where I'm going to talk about the 100th episode and what I think might happen in the forthcoming season. So, thanks guys for watching. I'm so excited. I'm going to juggle the 3 vlogs. I'm going to do it. So, thanks for watching. I will be back Thursday with my Rebels recap vlog and more Star Wars news. So, have a great week. Get through this Monday and it'll be smooth sailing from here on out. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to click like or subscribe and leave a question or comment below. I'm Caitlin. I'll see you guys on Thursday. Have a great week.